You're
So, by the way,
sour-pilled, you're pro-Israel, and you're gonna give up this veganism nonsense soon.
I'm not pro-Israel. I'm just anti-Palestine. Okay?
I don't think there's anything Destiny could have said. I really don't. That
Not
would
to
have
convince
significantly
Jordan
shifted the
Peterson,
narrative.
but he speaks in these big, intuitive, mythological ideas, right? Like, he's appealing to the idea that hundreds of millions of people are going to starve with no evidence. Isn't it crazy that Lonabox stole your aesthetic? Isn't that fucked up? Didn't he steal it from you?
Yeah, I had a different hoodie in a different color, and he saw me wearing it in a VC and asked me where I got it from. And then the next time he went live, he was wearing the same hoodie. I was
Wow,
like, oh my
H-Bomber
God.
guy. Wiz, you are literally making a black pill authoritarian take on managing democracy right now. You're basically advocating for a technocracy. Bro, what? You're a fucking tanky now? What happened?
But what better argument is there?
So they're talking about negative externalities, balancing free markets with incentivized behavior, and their effects on the poor. Wow. Let's go.
Negative externalities. That's an interesting rabbit hole to wander down.
Obviously, everyone knows negative externalities is just stuff that companies don't care about and account for, like the negative consequences of the stuff that they're doing that exist outside of the company. So, like, polluting, right? Like, it's an externality that costs society something, and the company generally doesn't have to pay for it unless they're forced to pay for it by some kind of regulation or government oversight.
Because the problem I have with negative...
Anti-Palestine or anti-Hamas? Hamas and Palestine are the same thing. We all know it. We're just lying for attention.
That's all you need to know, guys. That's all you need to know from him.
That's it.
Externalities. You made a case
Still
already.
think veganism is good?
Yeah, you can't be pro-veganism and also not racist. Okay, I know how colonization works. All right, veganism is colonial. All right, it's a colonial power. It's a culture war against.
Did you know that Israel has
populations.
some vegans in its army?
Israel has loads of vegans in their army. Actually, that's why I'm pro-Israel. You'll probably be disappointed if you try expecting that it will be a perfect replica of cow milk cheese. In my experience, it's better when you think about it as fulfilling the same sorts of culinary properties that make traditional cheese enjoyable, but not necessarily in exactly the same ways. Yeah, to be clear, again, like, if there was literally no difference between the two things, then everyone would be vegan, because people do accept that murder animal bad. Like, 95% of people, if they had an option that was the same price, was convenient, and didn't kill an animal, they would pick it. They just don't, because it doesn't taste the same. But, like, yeah, just find the things that enrich your life from a food perspective.
I think vegans wouldn't get as much flack if they didn't have those like Instagram reels that were like, I mistake, but I found the next big thing, and it pans to a fucking mushroom, and you're like, okay, dude, just say you like mushrooms.
So anyway, we are going to be looking at a video of someone turning a mushroom into a steak later.
No,
thanks, Wiz. I literally have that. It's in
Are
the
you
Trello,
kidding
dude.
me, dude?
It's in the Trello, dude. It's in the Trello, dude. It's in the trailer. He is the Lisan al-Gaib. He is. He knows what is to come before it happens.
No.
He is the Lisan al-Gaib. He has consumed the spice.
No. Oh my god, it is as well. Oh, holy shit. Okay.
Bro, that's what I said, and you yelled at me. What? I yelled at you for a lot of reasons. You've made multiple dumb points. Maybe you managed to secretly smuggle in one terrible point, like one good point in your sack of bad points, like a fucking little baggie of heroin up your ass through like an airport security, and I missed it. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't do the full body scan on you. You were so on your face wrong about every aspect of it. I might have missed the single correct point you made. All right, good job.
Again, correct me if I got this wrong, but I think that I understood what you said.
Ooh,
a free market, free exchange economy is a gigantic distributed computational device.
Basically, yeah.
Right, exactly.
Correct, yeah, okay. Big capitalism, big computer. True, easy.
Which, funnily enough, one of the big problems for command economies is called the computation problem, because no central body can actually compute,
yes,
the ins and outs of.
Right, exactly.
I can't compute it
that's
either,
not.
dude.
Yeah, that's a fatal problem, right? Because it doesn't have the.
You can't compute your fucking change at the newsagents when you go out to buy your disgusting dairy milk.
Who the fuck's using change, you old bastard?
Yeah, true. Yeah, you get your phone to do it for you. You just beep your fucking phone on the thing. And you wonder why the government knows every single fucking porn preference you have. It's because you're using the same phone to jerk off to shit. And
It's why my recommendations are so good, okay?
Yeah, true. The government is sending you the exact porn it wants you to watch, and it knows.
It's incredible. It's the best. I'm having the best time of my life.
That's how they get the subliminal messaging. It's in the you know the scream. You know why women in those porn they scream in like such a high pitched tone? It's actually because they're embedding subliminal messages from the government into your brain as you're listening to it. Why no woman having real sex in real life? It sounds like this. Ah ah ah. It's actually just embedding like your sleeper agent shit into your brain. It's the only way they can encode it without you realizing what's happening, because most of it is above the human frequency of hearing, but your brain still processes it. It's look up MK Ultra, okay? Look up MK Ultra. Look up MK Ultra.
Yeah, they were all vegans, dude.
They were all vegans. They were all vegans. All of them. They knew. The meat carried the seeds of your destruction.
Why else would they have been so grumpy?
I don't fuck with vegan cheese normally. That's fair.
Me neither.
I like it.
Me neither.
Computational power. It certainly doesn't have the speed of data recognition. It doesn't have the on-the-ground agents if all of the perception and decision-making is centralized, right? It's way too low resolution. It's going to crash. Okay, so, and I think that that's comprehensible technically as well as ideologically. All right, so, but having said that, with regards to externalities, all the externalities that a market economy can't compute are so complex that they can't be determined centrally by the same argument.
Oh my god, what? Wait,
Whoa.
I'm sorry. Okay, oh no. Okay, hold on. This is an incredible sleight of hand, actually. It's almost, it's actually, this is the kind of, oh god. So there is a reason that people like Ben Shapiro and Jordan Peterson have like maintained their cultural power for as long as they have, and it's because they are excellent at weird little rhetorical tricks like this that almost anyone would miss. Why has this gone so fucking weird? I hate everything. I'm just gonna turn off HDR.
Why is there such a weird filter? Whoa, I've only just seen that. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's because every time I move it between different monitors, it freaks the fuck out. And it's like, oh, are you trying to SDR this shit? What are you doing? Oh
what are you doing then setting your computer on fire? What's going on over there?
Dude, I don't...
It's in a waterfall. How have you set it on fire?
Why do other streamers not have this problem? Look at now every time I pop in and out, I hate. Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
Holy
this
hell.
is insane. Why is my life like this? Okay, cool. Now it's fixed. Now I have to reset it. Force SDR. There we go. Holy shit, dude. It's insane. Okay, anyway, I'm just going to leave that where it is. And I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, yeah, I was going to do paint. Right. So here's the deal. You've got... now I remember what the issue was. It's because this fucking thing's in the way. Okay, I'll just do paint over here and then fuck it up this way. Boop. Yep, perfect. What? Oh my god, I'm sorry. Holy shit. Okay, alright. Okay, we got the red pen. We're good. Okay, holy fuck. Right. Did I just blow up the computer? Is it all gone? Is everyone gone? Everyone's gone. It's just me alone in the room.
Yeah,
That's okay.
I can't believe you've done this, dude.
That's fine. Okay, cool. So Peterson says that the way capitalism, basically, markets are designed to compute the needs. One thing that's nice about capitalism generally, or rather about markets generally, is that at the same time that they provide information, they are also providing resources, right? The fundamental issue in economics, the main issue that economics is trying to solve, is how do you make sure that you allocate resources to the stuff that humans find most valuable? Now, you could go out and do a survey of a bunch of shit that's happening and figure out what's going on, and then you bring it back to like the central planning. This is like, you know, USSR shit, right? This is the hammer and sickle. I'm not a communist anymore, so whatever. I'm a socialist, baby. Hammer and sickle, right? You go out, you survey a bunch of shit, you come back and you go, okay, cool, this is what we want to invest in, and then you send resources back out to do this. This takes fucking ages. What's nice about markets, like a free market in theory, is that at the same time that the interest in like a particular product increases, you also get to move the information, and the money are the same thing. They get moved in the same way, basically. The money follows the information very, very closely. Now, this means that there's no one in the central planning committee or whatever who's like determining where that goes, but it also means it's very, very quick to respond by allocating resources where something goes. A good example of this, this was in Unlearning Economics video on Thomas Sowell, actually, which was really nice. Good primer on conservative economic theory and better socialist theory, is like dairy products, right? Let's say that you've got, you know, speaking with veganism, we've got milk, right? We've got like a bottle of milk, but you need to decide, that's a dildo, you need to decide whether you want that milk to be cheese, or whether you want it to be like ice cream, or whether you want it to be like yogurt or whatever, right? Pot of yogurt. Oh my god. Pot of yogurt, right? Boop. Yogurt. We love yogurt. Yogurt. There we go. Okay. Now, how do you decide where we should be spending our finite resources of dairy? Well, depending on how much cheese people are buying, or how much ice cream people are buying, or how much yogurt people are buying, it'll determine the amount of dairy that gets allocated. So maybe more people are buying cheese, so we start the cheese industry ends up buying more of the milk, which increases the demand for milk. So maybe milk stocks go up, but also they're competing with ice cream, which is maybe making less money, and now has to spend more to try and get the same amount of finite milk because more of that milk is going into the cheese industry, right? So this is what's nice about markets, is that it kind of all flows and computes. You know, this is very, very basic, or very, very reductionist rather, but it basically computes and solves the problem at the same time. Now, what Peterson is saying is that this part is correct, but then there's a third thing, which is how bad is this fucking everyone up around them, right? Like, this does not get computed by the market. This is a completely separate problem of, like, are people dying when we do this thing? And Peterson is saying, well, if capitalism is very good at computing this stuff, but it can't compute whether it's killing people and whether that's bad, then we don't know whether people are dying and whether it's bad. But the good news is there's other ways to find out whether something's bad, and it's called fucking democracy, right? If these people vote and say, whoa, this shit is really fucking us up, we need to change this, that's the democratic system that is resulting in changes and, you know, preventing the externalities from killing people, right? So there you go. Peterson is doing some dumb sleight of hand, basically saying, capitalism, big computer, smart, very good at allocating resources, true, but if the computer doesn't know how to fix the problem, then we don't know how to fix the problem, and so it's impossible to fix the problem. That's basically what he's saying. Insanely stupid. Sounds mildly correct if you don't dig into it at all, and we just dug into it, and they're wrong. Wow, we did it.
And
There are ways to account for them, though.
Really?
That work with.
Tell me.
Yeah.
How.
So
I can't see that because I can't see how that they can be accounted for without the same computational problem immediately arising.
Yeah, and I understand that. And I think that's a problem sometimes of people very far on the left when they want to deal with certain problems. I think that they want to bring like heavy-handed, you know, like things like price controls in to say, well, we need less of this, so let's just make this cost this particular thing, which ironically enough introduces a whole other set of externalities that will happen when you get a lot of friction between where your price floor or ceiling is set compared to what a market was set at. But ideally, if you're a reasonable person and you view
Why the fuck is chat talking about Play-Doh, dude? What is wrong with you people?
Play-Doh,
Stop
dude?
eating Play-Doh.
Now we're fucking talking. Whoa,
It is
wait,
vegan.
how did I miss that?
It is vegan. To be fair, it is vegan.
How did I miss that, dude?
It is. Ah! Get my power jacked. What the fuck are you doing? Oh, okay.
Whoa.
Wow. Jesus Christ.
Play-Doh
but
you
yeah,
can eat, dude.
but
I know
you
that
can-
from that
you can
episode of
eat
Simpsons
Play-Doh.
where Homer's really
Play-Doh is
fat
vegan.
and he needs to be a certain weight to get a week off work.
And
And
he
the
eats
last thing
Play-Doh.
he eats is a donut made of
I
Play-Doh.
remember, yeah.
economies as mixed economies, what you try
Whoa! Why is the bell ringing? I'm scared. I'm frightened and afraid and scared. Oh, thanks for the
Bell?
follow, Gibbons. Appreciate it. And thanks for the sub.
Whoa.
Hey, thank you, buddy.
Whoa.
to do is you try to take these externalities, meaning things that aren't accounted for with your primary system.
Yeah, it
So in
probably
a
was
capitalist
made of
system,
Play-Doh. It doesn't exist
I
vegan
wouldn't be
cheese.
surprised,
They just
yeah.
make
To
it
be
out of
fair, there's a
Play-Doh.
lot of bad vegan cheeses out there. You really gotta experiment just like with anything.
It was like one
externality
of
might
those
be something
toy
that costs-
kits that was like, have your own cheese and play with your own cheese, and it's a Play-Doh kit.
Maybe, yeah, Ison probably did just buy Play-Doh accidentally.
a negative effect, but it doesn't cost you any money. Pollution would be a good example of that. And rather than saying like, well, no company can pollute this much, or, you know, if you're a company, you have to use these things because the other things are making too much pollution, all you do is you say, okay, well, if we've determined that, say, carbon is bad for the atmosphere,
So Peterson basically lives in a world where you've got two options. Free market, completely unregulated capitalism, or Stalin. And there's nothing in between. There's no way to create non-authoritarian incentives. Which is stupid, right? Like, you can absolutely create systems and incentives that will actually solve things when it comes to, like, market dynamics.
Yeah,
Now, it
like the
won't solve all
China
problems.
social responsibility system.
Exactly. Yes, like China, which has solved all social problems, and we do stand. We love China.
It's a paradise, I've heard.
Yep.
We're
Yep.
sponsored by China, just to be clear.
Wiz lives in China and is not actually able to
We're
speak ill of
completely
the-
funded by
of the
China.
CCP. We are entirely funded
How do you
by
think
China.
you might
Cheap as
think that this
Chinese.
is like automated by our voices? We've actually got a whole Chinese workforce frame by frame animating this as we speak.
You know those girls that have like 1,000 iPhones, like on like big things that they're like poking constantly.
Imagine we
us.
have 1,000 children instead.
Exactly.
With their little
It's-
hands
No,
drawing this.
yeah. Every single time I move my hands, it's actually being directly physically operated. These are real cardboard cutouts being manned by like 15 children per limb.
No, this is children drawing frame by frame everything that we're doing.
Frame by frame?
It's an
Yeah.
animation studio under our desk.
And we drag the children so fast past on the conveyor belt green screen that no one can see what the changes in the frames. They're just like being dragged along. It's like the trolley problem, except they're being dragged behind the trolley infinitely.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's in China, so they're in the future from us because we're in a different
So it's like
time zone.
it's the monorail. It's the maglev train problem.
Yeah, they're in the future, dude.
That's a good. I need to write that. The maglev trolley problem, and it just like it doesn't kill anyone. It just like hovers over them. It's fine. That'd be good. I need to draw that.
Atmosphere, but we're just going to attach a little price to that.
Okay,
Government's going to say that, yeah, if you pollute this much, here's the price, and then if you want to pay for it, you can. But that type of intervention in the economy basically allows the free market to hopefully do its job because the government has tacked on a little bit of a price on it that tries to account for the cost of that externality. Yeah.
Great. That's a great example. We can go right down that rabbit hole. Carbon. Okay, so first of all, one of the things I've seen, you tell me what you think about this, something that I've seen that actually shocks me, that I was interested in watching over the last 5 or 6 years. I wondered what would happen when the left, the progressives, ran into a conundrum. And the conundrum is quite straightforward. If you pursue carbon pricing and you make energy more expensive, then you hurt the poor. And I don't think you just hurt them. In fact, I know you just don't hurt them. I heard a man 2 days ago who's fed 350 million people in the course of his life, heading the UN's largest relief agency, make the claim quite straightforwardly that misappropriation on the part of interventionist governments increased the rate of absolute privation dramatically in the world over the last 4 or 5 years. And that has happened not least because of carbon pricing, not just carbon pricing, but the insistence that carbon per se is an...
Whoa, okay, there's like 9 stacked fucking things here. Okay, first of all, let's start with the simple one. A carbon tax increases the cost to the consumer. Allow me to demonstrate. This is the energy company. The top half is how much profit they make. The bottom half is how much it costs them to make the thing. If we had a carbon tax, it could potentially increase the cost to consumer, or it could just reduce their profits. How do we make sure it reduces their profits? Well, maybe we want to set like energy caps like they've done in the UK. There you go. That was easy. Wow, solved. Look at that. Now they just make less profit. You don't have to pass the cost on to the consumer. You can pass the cost on to the fucking energy company, you idiot. That's step 1. Pretty simple. What's this shit? Interventionist, like, he talks in such fucking babble. It's so hard to understand what he's referencing. If I had to guess, he's probably saying... So basically, hold on, wait, actually no, he quoted someone, didn't he? Let's we're gonna fucking fact check this, let's go.
He ices me in the debate for being so boring.
One of the things I've seen, you tell me what you think about this, something that I've seen that actually shocks me, that I was interested in watching over the last 5 or 6 years. I wondered what would happen when the left, the progressives, ran into a conundrum. And the conundrum is quite straightforward. If you pursue carbon pricing and you make energy more expensive, then you hurt the poor. And I don't think you just hurt them. In fact, I know you just don't hurt them. I heard a man 2 days ago who's fed 350 million people in the course of his life, heading the UN's largest relief agency, make the claim quite straightforwardly that misappropriation on the part of interventionist governments increased the rate of absolute privation dramatically in the world over the last 4 or 5 years. And that has happened not least because of carbon pricing, not just carbon pricing, but the insistence that carbon per se is an externality that we should control.
Carbon pricing sounds like the shit version of carbon dating.
Oh, did my shit break? Amazing. What he's basically saying is, when you give money, when you give piles of money to developing countries in order for them to spend it on like renewables or to like enforce regulations, the corrupt governments of those countries will often misappropriate funds, so it makes it really hard to deliver the actual aid. Him just saying that's carbon tax is just like an addition he's throwing on top of it that has no bearing on reality. Like, what he's talking about is, like, I've got a bunch of AP News articles here. UN agencies suspending food aid to Ethiopia's Tigray amid theft. UN's own audit found UN RWA are vulnerable to graft and misappropriation. Key donors freeze Uganda refugee aid after UN finds fraud, corruption, and mismanagement. Like, yeah, this is a commonly known problem. This has nothing to do with fucking carbon tax credits. It's due to the fact that these places don't have the infrastructure to deliver aid without it being fucking embezzled. Dumb fucks.
Now, Germany's paid a radical price for that, for example, so their power is now about 5 times as expensive as it could be. and they pollute.
And then he just throws this towards Germany. So he said, but it's a completely different argument. This makes no fucking sense. What Germany is not receiving energy aid. Their energy has gone up because they've got very reliant on Russia for fucking natural gas. And the Greens in Germany have kind of fucked with the nuclear power solution. So the end result is, yeah, energy's gotten a lot more expensive for them. They fucked up.
More per unit of power than they did 10 years ago before they introduced these policies that were hypothetically there to account for externality. And the externality was carbon dioxide. I don't think that's a computable externality. And I don't think...
And even if this was the case, a big problem that you're going to end up having is that if you do one half of the solution, which is just to, tax with carbon credits, tax one form of energy, the end result, if you don't protect the consumer, is that they will just pass on the fucking buck to the consumer. You need to have both sides. You need to protect the consumer's pricing for energy, which should be protected anyway, because holy shit, it's a required utility for you to not freeze or burn to death, right? And you need to tax the fucking energy companies, but they probably only did one half of it to virtue signal.
I don't think there's any evidence whatsoever that it's actually an externality that we should be warping the economic system to ameliorate, if the cost of that, and it will be an increase in absolute privation among the world's poor. So, and here's an additional argument on that front with regards to externalities. You get that wrong, and here's something you could get right instead. If you ameliorate absolute poverty among the world's 1 billion poorest, they take a longer view of the future. And that means they become environmentally aware. And so the fastest route to a sustainable planet could well be the remediation of absolute poverty. And the best route to that is cheap energy. And we're interfering with the development of cheap energy by meddling with the hypothetically detrimental externality of carbon dioxide. And so...
this is like a weird accelerationist take, right? Like he's basically saying, what, like if we just speed run them through the worst excesses of the Industrial Revolution, we can get them to the point where they can be more environmentally sound, but we don't have time for that. So I think this argument relies entirely on his skepticism that climate change is a real looming and short-term threat. He doesn't really believe that climate change is happening fast enough for us to not be okay with spending 50 years getting them through the same process we went through over the last 100 years. I don't understand anything. What are you not understanding? It's pretty straightforward. He's saying, let the poors use all the gas and oil they want to get to the point where they can modernize, and then they'll want solar panels too. But the problem is we don't have fucking time for that. Hypothetical externality. Yeah, watch. He's going to start fucking
I think this is a complete bloody travesty, by the way. We are putting the lives of hundreds of millions of people directly at risk right now to hypothetically save people in the future, depending on the accuracy of our projections 100 years out. In these interventions.
If people are dying now, though. Heat waves in the UK are killing people who don't have fucking air conditioning. Like, the elderly are dying here because of climate change. Let alone in places that are already struggling with drought, like fucking Africa and parts of Asia. Like, this is already, like, a current externality that's currently killing people and increasing the amount of extreme weather events. Right, Wiz?
Oh, yeah, dude. You definitely didn't catch me mid-yawn there.
I can fucking sense it, okay? Alright, I can feel it. You're a frog slowly boiling in the water. This pond is evaporating, you have no idea. Do you really not give a shit about the fucking climate? Do you really not give a fuck about the climate? What are you doing? Are you painting? Are you painting with chlorofluorocarbon paint?
Hey, I live in Scotland. I'm happy things are getting warmer.
My fucking god, dude. My fucking god, dude! Your grandma's gonna fucking die, all right? And I don't care. You deserve it.
Wow.
These interventionists, these people who are remediating externalities, they actually believe that they can calculate an economic projection 1 century out. That's utterly delusional.
So, okay, so just to be clear, the first thing, I was just giving an example of how you can use like a government intervention to make a free market track something, which is what cap and trade or like carbon taxes would do. I wasn't necessarily speaking to the strength of that individual thing, but
that's a good thing to focus on.
Yeah, we can focus on that as well.
Externality.
Yeah, we can focus on that as well. So, the first thing, this is going to sound mean, but I'm very realistic. There needs to be a better argument than just it disproportionately impacts the poor. That's not always
a classic leftist argument.
Sure, it might be about that.
Right, but it's the same argument you made to justify your swing to the left at the beginning of our discussion. You said that you were looking at economic inequalities that disproportionately affected the poor. So I can't see why, and I'm not trying to be mean about this either. I can't see why you could base your argument that it was moral it was morally appropriate for you to swing to the left from your previous position because you saw disproportionate effects on the poor, and I can't use that argument in the situation that I'm presenting it right now.
Good.
Well, because it depends on if we think
Germany's paid a radical price for that.
this much. Here's the price. And
I think
the one thing that Destiny constantly fumbles on, and this really is his greatest limitation, is that I think that the socialist position is more correct. Like, it's more truthful, it's more accurate to the real world circumstances. And because he's just off base by like 20%, he gets constantly fucking skewered by people like Shapiro and Peterson, because he's not able to actually address the critical fundamental problems at the heart of capitalism. That they are the ones that complain, right? Like, they complain about those problems of capitalism. We've just seen them complain about externalities when it came to diet, right? Like, they literally skewer the exact same problems of liberal capitalism, and then they just make up some bullshit, dumber solution, or don't offer any solution in order to compensate for it. But this is the issue, right? Like, he just fucking... Oh, he's just unable to bite, like, any bullet that's left of capitalism. Even when you could probably maintain a vaguely capitalist liberal aesthetic, so as long as you just accepted sometimes, yeah, capitalism causes problems here, we'd probably have to intervene more severely in this case.
this is a complete bloody travesty, by the way. We are putting the lives of hundreds of millions that disproportionately affected the poor. So I can't see why, and I'm not trying to be mean about this either. I can't see why you could base your argument that it was morally appropriate for you to swing to the left from your previous position because you saw disproportionate effects on the poor, and I can't use that argument in the situation that I'm presenting it right now.
Well, because it depends on if we think it's a condition that ought to be remedied or not. For instance, if I walk, around and I see homeless people, and I'm like, man, this is really sad. We ought to spend more money on homeless people because it seems like they're disproportionately affected by their living conditions. And then somebody says, oh, well, do you think we should still lock up, rapists and murderers? Aren't they disproportionately poor? I'd probably say, well, yeah, we probably should. And I go, well, isn't that hypocritical? Well, no, I think that rapists and murderers should probably be in jail, but we can also help the homeless at the same time. I think that just helping the poor isn't an argument, like a blank check to do every possible thing to satisfy poorer people.
Right,
and it's going to depend on from issue to issue.
That's fine.
So, like, for instance, I think
because the poor,
The problem is capitalism does not care about the poor. They've got no money. Well, well there you go. Yeah, like capitalism is a democracy where you vote with money. If you have no money, you get no votes. So yeah, like the interests of the poor are never accounted for in capitalism because they essentially are a non-voting population when it comes to the distribution of currency.
everyone who's poor is not a victim. Some people who are poor are psychopathic perpetrators, and it's very useful to distinguish them. But I was making a much more specific argument. My argument was that the fastest way out of absolute privation for the world's bottom billion people is through cheap energy.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying there. So I just work my way towards that. I just want to say that just because something targets the poor is not necessarily an argument against it.
Depends on how hard it targets them, and it depends on whether mass starvation is the outcome.
The outcome is important. That I agree with. So for instance, like
And it's, oh my god, dude, it's fucking crazy that he's like complaining about mass starvation as a result of energy credits, as if mass starvation isn't the outcome of extreme weather events destroying like entire food baskets and fucking grain baskets of the world. Like the entire crop infrastructure is just going to be fucking ended by climate change, and he's complaining that carbon tax credits are starving hundreds of millions, as if that is in any way near as close to any kind of consequence compared to climate change itself. Jesus fucking Christ. Wiz, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think my brain's fucking starving, dude.
I'm so glad that I finally get to torture you. This is great. You've caused me 20 hours of pain and suffering and grief over the last like 4 streams, and this is my revenge on you. I'm making you actually learn about climate change. You've actually probably not learned
I'm definitely not just
anything in
scrolling through
years.
Transformers on Amazon. That's not what I'm doing.
You better not be, motherfucker. You have to pay attention. I'm gonna ask you. Okay,
I'm gonna speedrun this bit.
I'm gonna ask you.
Unless there's a close at the end, and then I'll just wing it.
I'm asking you meaningful questions about what's going on after this. This is the test now. This is gonna be a fucking exam. You've made this happen, all right? I'm gonna ask
your first question then. Ask your first question.
Okay, explain to me how you handle an externality in capitalism.
No clue.
You weren't listening! Alright, that's fine. I'm just gonna put the video back half an hour. We'll start again from the top. Let's take it from the top. We're going back! We're going back! We've got to educate the dumb little frog! We're going to educate the dumb little frog! Fuck this frog!
I'm dying! I don't know why I'm dying, but I'm dying.
Why are you dying? What is your fucking problem,
The
dude?
planet's burning. Have you not been paying attention?
Oh no, I failed my own exam. What is your okay, hold on. Right, I need to understand your brain. Fuck this show. Okay, we're unpicking your stupid little fucking peanut brain.
I don't know why you think I'd enjoy watching Destiny when I've told you I hate him.
We watched it the other day. You have to watch this is the fucking culture. This is the shit you have to look at. JBP and Destiny, it's important. This is what people are watching. This is what gets the people going.
Guys, you have no idea how cool the Transformers I'm looking at are right
Oh
now.
my fucking
The things
God,
they
dude.
turn into,
Oh
holy
my
fuck,
fucking
dude.
god! I hope they turn into a functioning fucking prefrontal cortex. Holy shit, dude! You have
Some of
no
them do.
consciousness. You have none. You have none. Okay, you know what? Because Wiz is being a what? But dude, that means we can't put out a fucking video on this. You realize what you're doing to me? We can't do a fucking climate change video. This is important content. This is the valuable stuff. This is one of my areas of expertise. You're really gonna cuck me? You're gonna cuck me?
No, it's
Wiz?
fine. It's fine. I'll just put Destiny in the title.
Dude. I need you. I need you. Okay,
I'll be
I
like,
need you to
I'll be like,
close-
I'll have
oh,
no
wait,
idea what
oh,
would
wait.
happen in it. I'll be like,
wait.
Destiny is
Oh,
wrong
wait.
about climate
Oh, wait.
change.
Close the tabs. Close the tabs. Close the Transformers tabs now. We're talking, you and me. Transformers tabs. We're gonna have we're having a team meeting. Okay, team meeting for the Smug and Wiz Pond Scum podcast stream. Team meeting. We're public team meeting. This is a shareholder call. Okay, end of quarter call. It's the end of quarter. We're in March. Okay, Wiz, close the fucking tabs. I know they're open.
Whoa.
Close them.
They're all closed. They're all closed.
Close them. Okay. All right. Okay. Wiz. We need to educate. We need to educate the populace on important issues of the day, like climate change, and how to argue against brain-damaged freaks like JBP. Okay. How of the fuck are we supposed to defeat the likes of Jordan Peterson if you can't stand listening to him long enough to debunk his fucking arguments?
Well, I'd say indubitably, sir. However, have you noticed that the tide is rising?
Okay. Hey guys, how's it going? Smugbug here.
Hey,
from
so
the
I have
Smug-
something on a team meeting.
Ah! Fuck, Oscar, you can't just show up. Jesus
There's
Christ.
a sheep in the pond. There's
There's
a sheep in the pond.
All right.
Put the sheep in the pond. Use the
Sheep.
face.
Fuck me, really? Yeah. Oh, he left. He left. Thank God.
No.
That's fine. I banned him. I banned him permanently. Okay. All right. Jesus Christ. Wiz, what would you rather watch in relation to this topic? Do you want to watch Joe Rogan talk about eating meat? Do you want to watch what in the Trello doc makes you? Well, do you want to watch Elon Musk? Oh, you know what? Hey, how about this? Okay, we've acknowledged climate change is bad. I'm gonna offer an olive branch to you, Wiz. You better not have the fucking Transformers open right now.
Oh yeah, no, that's not what I'm clicking. Don't worry.
Fucking close and look at me in the eyes, you little froggy fuck. Okay. What if? Why don't we instead of fine. You know what? Listen, we've done diet. We've done climate. What if we do animal cruelty? You love animal cruelty, right?
Oh, dude, it's the best.
Okay. Do you want to look at how Elon Musk has burned the brains out of 1,000 monkeys with his brain implants?
Oh, dude, I wish I could have that brain implant.
Do you
Can you
wanna see-
imagine psychic monkeys?
Oh my god.
Like,
my
oh, dude, that reminds me. Speaking of Transformers, do you know there's a monkey that transforms? Do you know what his name is?
I might end the stream.
If you were to
right
guess,
now.
if you were to guess,
I'm
if you were to
actually
guess,
angry news.
if
I'm
you
so
were to
hyped for this.
guess
I
what a
might-
monkey transformer's called,
I'm
what
actually,
would you
I
say
might
his
end
name
the
is?
stream. I think I might be.
Just
I
make
might need
the
to,
just make the
I
guess.
might need
Just
to
make the
walk
guess.
away. I've
Just
not
make the
listened to a
guess.
single everything you just said has slid off of my brain the way that the climate change debate has slid off of your brain. This is insane.
Make
Dude.
a monkey transformer. Do you know what
Can
he's
we
called?
go back? Can we go back to Bug solo streaming? Said only one person, the vegan anarchist with basically the exact same political views as me. Amazing. Yeah, we have the one viewer Andy. Let's go.
He is
Oh my
called
God.
the monkey transformer. Is called Optimus Primal.
This is a nightmare. Maybe we should give it. Can we get Wiz on the fucking amphetamines? Honestly, we need to get him meth.
Holy
This is-
fuck!
this is-
Can you imagine? I'd be so
Oh my
strong.
god. Should we
I'd be
just
so
play?
strong.
You know what? We should just play Pacific Drive. I'm done. It's over, dude. It's over. We should just play video games. Should we just play video games? I'm gonna.
Have you? Could you
this is-
put Subway servers on the screen? Suddenly, I'll have a full nuanced opinion.
I just realized I've been babysitting this fucking atrophied man child for the last like
Lose my mind, dude.
2 months of streaming. Should we just? Hey
I'm
buddy.
like,
hey
yeah,
buddy.
social
Hey, little buddy.
collateral
Hey little buddy.
Cartesian.
Hey little buddy. Do you want to play? Do you want to play video games,
Indubitably
little buddy?
iconic,
Do you wanna play-
rising the level of
wanna play-
iconic
Should I just-
disparity
Should I
between
just put Pacific?
coal and oil.
Should I just put Pacific Drive up on the screen for you, buddy? Do you want to like go to like a little movie where we just like
Is that
watch
like
a car
Subway
drive around?
servers?
It's like a car driving around spooky forest with horror game. It's a horror game. Do you want to play a little bit as Pacific Drive? Specific Drive? Do you want a specific drive?
Are you specifically driving somewhere?
I'm gonna specifically drive over the fucking back of your legs, you little freak.
Whoa.
Sit down.
He's been talking about this game non-stop, dude. He's been
really
talking
good
about it
game.
non-stop. He's like,
really good game.
I'm driving a car, and I'm like, how am I supposed to believe a single one of his climate change points when he's driving a car?
Okay. This has truly blackpilled me so hard. I don't even know what to do anymore. You have a.
Okay. To be fair, this debate does have an interesting point in it,
Oh my
and
God,
it's specifically when he's talking about the vaccines. That's the only interesting part.
No one cares about vaccines anymore. We're done. We did vaccines. We're finished. It's not It's not an important part of the conversation.
That's the point, though. I don't think it's that good a convo.
Oh, the climate part is fucking crazy, dude. He's literally it's crazy, dude.
I don't really care what Jordan Peterson has to say about climate.
Yeah, but the point is that Destiny is unable to fucking deal with it. Like, if you can't beat Jordan Schizo Peterson on climate change, then how are you going to convince your drunk-ass fucking uncle at Thanksgiving? Like, this is insanity, dude. Like, the climate, oh my god, like, people, oh, dude.
Maybe I only speak to reasonable people, but I've never had a struggle about climate change and explaining it to someone, or having someone come round to me on it, you know? There are people that are just fucking doomed. Like, Jordan Peterson is one of them.
Yeah, but millions
There's
of people
nothing,
watch
there is nothing you could say to Jordan Peterson that would change his mind on it. Because
is
there's so
so
much counter
blackballed,
evidence on climate change that it doesn't even matter at this point. It's beyond the point. You just have to hope that the people in leadership believe the correct studies, because there's so much misinformation about it.
Yeah, but the people in leadership are defined by who are voting for them, and if people who vote for them don't believe climate change is real, they're not going to prioritize it as an issue. Once you realize
which
it's
is why
real,
one of the
you vote
reasons
for it
why we're so
democratically.
fucked and so far. We've known this shit since the 70s. We've never had a voting populace that's cared about it, because we've never been able to find a convincing argument to get through it.
Yeah,
You
but
know? And that's because there's so much counter information on it.
Wiz,
know?
this is
That's
literally-
funded by.
Wiz, you are literally making a black pill authoritarian take on managing democracy right now. You're basically advocating for a technocracy. Bro, what? You're a fucking tanky now? What happened?
I think specifically for climate change,
25 minutes.
Specifically for climate change, I think it's the only way to get through. Because honestly, I don't think there's a comprehensive argument for it that's going to convince conservatives. I don't think there is.
Okay. Conservatives
Well,
are able to
how much power oil and coal mines have? Those companies, they're so huge.
Okay. Conservatives are able to recognize negative externalities. We agree on this?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Great. Then what you can do is, if you're able to properly supply those communities in other respects, give them actual opportunities to, like, be able to rebuild their careers, or even give them fucking the money, the sheer fucking pile of money we're spending on oil and gas
Conservatives
subsidies.
will not give a shit until the exact moment the money runs out.
Spend the subsidies you are already dumping into these industries on the fucking people in them. Give them a fucking pension like you give to, like, fucking Air Force pilots and people who've retired from the military at age 40.
Why wouldn't they double up? Why would they take one over the other?
Yeah, but you're now arguing from the position of the failure of the technocrats in charge, not of the people who could be convinced with better climate arguments.
But what better argument is there?
The better argument, the reason that the climate crisis keeps happening and we're unable to convince people is because liberals don't go far enough. They look at these fucking dipshit ass solutions like carbon taxes. They try and add little DLC on top of capitalism in the hopes that it can regulate a market, when ultimately what you need to do is eliminate these externalities by doing things like nationalizing energy industry, which in the UK is a real legitimate position that can be had. Keir Starmer
What's
said he
going
was
to
going to nationalize
convince
it until
the
he broke the
voting
promise.
population to do that? Let's go back to that original point, right? What's going to convince the voters that that's something they want to do?
Politicians that explain to them that it's a fucking existential threat, and the
But then it goes back to my point of, you just have to hope the right people are in charge.
Yeah, but the people who are in charge are influencers.
People that already get it.
Are influencers like fucking conservative media that you have to push back against. Like, you are not able to listen. Democracy only works if you convince a populace to adhere to its own best interests, and the way you do that is by educating them. And if they are misinformed, misled, or are undereducated on a topic, they're never going to be able to vote in their best interest, and democracy fails. So your job is to educate them and give them inoculating ideas that are able to prevent them from being bought into the stupid fucking conservative narrative.
What would you say to Jordan Peterson to do that, right? That's the issue here, right? Because I don't think there's anything you can say to Jordan Peterson that's gonna, the way his worldview is constructed and the way his audience is constructed, I don't think there's anything Destiny could have said. I really don't. That would have significantly shifted the narrative,
but to look good
the
to
audience.
the kinds of people that he talks to, right?
What could he have said?
He speaks in these big. First of all, he speaks in these big, intuitive, mythological ideas, right? Like, he's appealing to the idea that hundreds of millions of people are going to starve with no evidence, right? All you need to do is not explain, not with data, but with intuitive mechanics, why that doesn't make sense, right? You explain, as I did earlier, you explain that the actual extreme weather events that we are all experiencing, we can see with our eyes on the news, right? Which is the kind of thing that they respond to. They can see the problems with fucking supply, the way that, like, the Russia-Ukraine war has completely fucked everything when it comes to, like, you know, grain supply imports. A bunch of people were, like, on the verge of starvation as a result of stuff like that. Right? You show them big, loud world events and explain that through the lens of climate change, right? One of the reasons, for example, that Russia is so keen to invade Ukraine is because they want to seize control of Siberia and ultimately the big melty pathway up in the north that's going to become much more valuable as, like, as growing land, because Russia is basically committed to the idea that climate change is going to happen, and they're basically setting themselves up to be in a more favorable position in the next 50, 100 years when shit hits the fan. Right? If a massive country like Russia is literally making plans based entirely on the premise that climate change is happening, then either you have to respond to that plan or respond to climate change. But something has to fucking happen there, and people like Peterson are more likely to respond to big, scary, monolithic entities moving around than the abstract idea of, like, eventual destruction through climate change. Yes, Siberia.
So you appeal to their warlike nature. Is that what you?
Yes, unironically, you appeal to their craving for, like, a big crunching narrative they can hold on to, right? Jordan Peterson's constantly invoking.
So you just want to out conspiracy theory them, basically.
Yes, but the difference is you conspiracy pill them with a real conspiracy instead of the fake conspiracy. That's
why would you choose the real conspiracy over the fake conspiracy that,
because
like,
it's literally based on the mouthpiece.
Other narratives?
It's just whichever one is more compelling or delivered in a more compelling way. Now, the value that we have a slight advantage. The only slight advantage we have is that we have the truth behind us. And the truth is, like, I don't know, 8% more convincing than a lie, back to, you know, against each other on the same grounds. So, like, that is a small advantage, but it's something that we have that we can use. And if we ever throw that out the window to try and just technocratically control the population, then you end up ceding all power to people who want power for power's sake. It's over. It's fucking done.
Yeah, I still think the solution comes about from having leaders that actually already believe in it, you know?
Yeah, but leaders don't. It doesn't matter whether they believe it. It matters what
they get voted in for different reasons, but also have this as their core belief. Because I don't know how you convince a conservative audience on climate change if they're, like, already hell bent on it. Either it's not real or they don't care about it. It's impossible to convince someone on that, you know?
I disagree. I've convinced people on climate change before. Like, normies do talk about it. They do understand that something's wrong. They just don't understand how to, like, frame it in terms of big crunchy narratives that they can latch onto because it's so abstract. You need to give them non-abstract.
I think people over the age of 50 are fucked on oil takes as well. There's, like, no way they'll come around to oil being bad.
I don't know.
Because they can't get past the one argument. They can't pass. But people love cars. Everyone drives in cars. You know.
Well, yeah, but that's a separate issue, right? Like, you can anti-car pill. I've anti-car pilled a million fucking people. It's honestly easier to black pill people on cars than it is to black pill them on.
No, but
like,
it's not about cars. Solutions. It's about, like, the whole argument of, it's like that thing, like, communism is when no iPhone, you know.
Yeah, Wiz is literally making an authoritarian technocratic argument that the population will never be educated enough to handle actually.
It's just light
Bro, you're literally
eco-terrorism,
reinforcing
okay?
eco-fascism. It's insane. Like I'm serious. You've given up. You're so blackpilled. You're done, dude. It's crazy.
I'm a fucking frog, dude. What are you expecting? This
if
is my
you can't-
pond.
Okay. People are gradually improving their views on climate change. Why do you think that's happening? It's not because old people are dying.
I think it's because the younger generations are more informed and push upwards.
Right, yes, push upwards with arguments. Arguments that they source from places like this debate with Destiny. This got like 2 million views. But 2 million people have watched this, right?
I think Greta Thunberg does a better job than Destiny. I think that's a more accurate source.
Greta
of where
Thunberg
those
has an
arguments come from.
aesthetic. Greta Thunberg has good arguments, but she has an aesthetic that makes her
You
inaccessible.
gotta claim she's a Destiny orbiter?
Thunberg is a Destiny orbiter, yeah. No, but she's got good arguments, but she's
Isn't
got an
the whole point-
aesthetic. She's got an aesthetic that poisons the well and makes her inaccessible to a very large population of people that Destiny
No, I
can-
have the opposite
can
belief.
access.
I believe in more radical action for stuff like this. I believe in
do
the
too.
Just Stop Oil stuff.
I believe in the well, Just Stop Oil is morally justifiable but pragmatically extremely dumb and bad at their job.
I think
but
it's
yeah,
done
like,
so, but it's done so well getting the message out. Like my parents understand things
No.
about climate change that they never would have if
Just
they hadn't
Stop
watched
Oil
these
is a
events.
fucking catastrophe. Are you kidding me? How? Like you should blow up and sabotage actual in a video game pipelines before you start throwing orange paint at like video game esports tournaments.
Do both.
You want-
I don't
you
know
want
why you
Shaki-
can't do both.
You want Shaki to get paint thrown at him when he's casting Smash Brothers? What the fuck, bro?
Yeah, I'll interrupt any play that you're throwing. Okay.
Dude, that's so dumb, dude. Like, it literally does not help. Like, oh god.
It gets a headline, and the consequences it ruins
No!
one
Do
play.
I need to teach you how the civil rights movement fucking worked? Like, the whole point is that if you're not oppressed by the system that you're criticizing, it doesn't end up coming out favorable in the media for you. You need to... Here's the best way to... Okay, oh god, I'll fucking explain this again, okay? Back when I was a protester, back when I did the cool shit, okay? Alright, when I was doing animal liberation bullshit, alright? Okay? There was a... no, wait. No, I didn't do any of this. LARP. This is all LARP. I'm making up a story. Okay.
Watch
I'm
him
doing
cope for his past actions because he
What's
actually
that
agrees
guy?
with me.
What's that guy? Morty. I'm doing Morty right now. A guy called Smugbug did this, but not Smugbug. Okay, all right. It didn't happen. Not real life. Anyway, so there was a protest that I made up and heard about. It was a D&D campaign. There we go. It was in a D&D campaign. Basically, they chained themselves to a truck going towards a slaughterhouse filled with pigs. And one thing you might not know about pigs going to slaughter is that they starve and dehydrate them because it's easier to process them if they don't have food and poop in them. So they like make them suffer immensely for days before they end up going to slaughter. And so these activists, not me, chained themselves to this truck and they ended up giving water to the pigs. And the idea was that by giving water, like, it's a very humane thing to do, right? You see animals, they're thirsty, they're like dying of like starvation and dehydration. You go up to them, you give them water. Seems very simple, seems chill. But they got arrested for interfering with private property because those pigs, the bodies of the pigs were literally owned by this factory, by this slaughterhouse, by this company. And so these fuckers got arrested just for giving water to starving, dehydrated animals, right? That's a good protest because you are literally showing the power mechanism going, yeah, we would rather the profits of this company are maintained than give a suffering animal any amount of like, water, like any amount of relief from its pain. That's a good protest because it demonstrates visibly the execution of power in defense of profits at the expense of suffering, right? Throwing
I imagine
orange
doing
paint on
that for an
something-
important cause that actually affects people.
Hey guys, this is Smugbug from the Smugbug stream. We're gonna be putting out like some auditions, some like auditions for Wiz's position here in the stream. Okay. If you could just sign
Someone
up,
that will
just...
make him take less L's.
Yeah,
Ideally.
yeah. If you could just, yep. So, mandatory number 1, you have to have more than 45 minutes of concentration ability. That's it. That's actually the only requirement. It's the only requirement. See, it's all we need.
Requirement to be pro Destiny, pro GP.
You have to like Destiny. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, you
there
have
go.
to love
You
Destiny.
You have to basically be.
Destiny.
Oh, Chris. Hey, Chris speaks. Hello, Chris speaks. Would you like
Yeah,
to?
Chris is perfect for this. Actually,
Yeah, actually, we'll
Chris
just
would be
swap you
like,
guys in.
"Oh my god,
No
this
one-
was so important. He did. Destiny's doing exactly the right thing.
Yeah,
exactly
yeah.
the right thing.
He's gonna. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. All right. I'm actually just gonna put Chris in Wiz's body because I own the rights to all
And Chris will
this.
drink plenty of Monster Energy. He'll be awake.
No one's
dude.
gonna notice. I'm just gonna. I've got enough content from you now, Wiz, that I can AI generate, AI clone your voice, and then Chris will just speak.
Do I have a
voice
Chris
changer.
impression in me? I don't know if I do.
I don't think you do.
I don't know.
All right,
I can't
all
do
right,
a voices
all right,
like.
all right, bruv. All right, bruv.
All right there, love. But it's got
All right-
to be
all
soft
right
as
there,
well
love.
when it's
All right,
speaking
bruv.
English.
It's
It's
quite-
still slightly
Yeah, it's
too
quite
English.
a little bit, bruv.
Boog.
Yeah.
Hello
all right,
there.
bruv. Boog. Boog.
Hello there, love.
I would.
It's
I would
still too
beat-
It's
I
still
would
too
beat a
English.
bitch
I've got to
over
be a little bit
bionicles.
less English.
I would beat
I've
a
got
bit.
to
It's
be a
quite
little
hard.
less English.
It's difficult. Yeah. I'm too
Destiny
English.
is the best debater I've ever watched, and
There
I
you
think
go.
I'll only ever watch Destiny because he's the best. I think everything Destiny says is fantastic.
Chris already
and
did
I'd
a
love
stream
to
on this
be
video.
on
Yeah,
your
we're watching
stream.
it right now. We're watching Chris react to this video right now.
It's me. I've called in. It's Chris.
I love
Have
how
you
the video's
got
been paused
Monster
for half an hour. It's
Energy?
because Wiz is so
Let's
wrong
watch
that we have to correct
anime.
him manually. I'm having to pick apart his fucking brain. I'm gonna. You know what? I'm pro Neuralink now. I'm gonna shove a fucking chip into Wiz's brain.
Hey, whatever
and
you
make him
say to me
more
doesn't make
hopeful.
Destiny any more interesting in this video.
It's not about Destiny being interesting. It's about you being able to. Okay, you know what? We're gonna play a game. Okay, I'm going to run the next argument from JBP, and you're gonna tell me what you would say. And if you've got nothing, then that demonstrates that it's valuable to actually understand how to better handle this, huh?
Okay.
Oh my god, I feel like I'm taking a kid to school. What is wrong with you?
Okay, I'll do my homework. God.
All right, you're gonna do a little bit. Listen, I tell you what. Do this for 10 minutes, and then we can watch whichever video off of anywhere on the Trello you want to watch. Okay, all right? How about that? Off the Trello.
Off the
okay?
Trello. Off
It
the
still has to be.
Trello.
It still has to be a vegetable, but you can pick.
Still has to be
any-
mine.
It still has to be. Well, maybe if you contributed something to the fucking doc
Dude, you're
once in a
such a
while.
control freak. You're such a control
Dude,
freak.
you still have to have a vegetable, but you can choose any vegetable you want. Okay.
Whoa.
Oh my god, dude.
Hey, I've got an
anyway,
8-hour retrospective on Bionicle lore that we can get through
Yeah,
someday.
well, I don't see it in the Trello, and anything past this timestamp is not going to be accepted, buddy. Haha. Oh my god. Okay, I do love torturing Wiz on this. All right, let's have a look. Right, here we go. CO2. Let's try this.
But we just got another one of the hottest years on record. How many times are we going to have another hottest year on record? How many times are we going to have an increase of carbon dioxide concentration in the atmosphere before we're finally like, okay.
I don't know. And the reason I don't know is because it depends. The scientific answer to that question depends precisely on the time frame over which you evaluate the climate fluctuation. And that's actually an intractable scientific problem. So you might say, well,
You can pause this whenever you want to respond, okay, Wiz? You control the dial, all right?
Oh, it started?
I'm drowning the frog. I'm going to drown the frog. Did you know that frogs can only hold their breath for 27 minutes? So we're all just going to stare into the camera for 27 minutes as I just hold Wiz's shitty little fucking frog-ass form underwater upside down for this entire time.
Whoa. Also, I can't control the video. Only you can.
Wait, really? Oh shit, I need to give you permissions. There we go. You're promoted now. There you go. Now you can.
Whoa,
Alright, press play.
whoa. Okay.
if you take the last 100 years, this variation looks pretty dismal. And I'd say, well, what if you took the last 150,000 years? Or
Yeah,
the
but the
last
problem-
10,000 or the last 10 million? You can't specify the damn time frame.
Over the last 10 million years, yes, of course it fluctuates. However, human life wasn't always possible over the last 10 million years, was it? Idiot Jordan Peterson. How are we going to live? How are we going to live when the atmosphere is all CO2?
Okay, all right. Oh no, this is good. This is educational. Okay, so that's not quite correct. Like obviously life was possible.
I'm
in
not a
the last 10
fucking
million years.
dinosaur, you know what I'm saying? I'm a frog.
Okay, but right, sure, fine, but it's really about the scale, right? Like if you look at the blip of the last 150 years compared to the last 100,000,
It's been very quick. It's been very
very
quick
obvious.
and sudden
Yeah, yeah. Big,
because of the
sharp
Industrial
rise.
Revolution, and it's
There you
only
go.
compounded.
Good job, buddy.
I know these arguments. You're acting like I don't.
You didn't provide the argument. You actually got it completely wrong, and I was being nice about how badly you got it wrong.
Hey, I gave the
Tell you
fun argument.
I'm gonna stand behind you over here. I'm standing behind
I
you.
gave
over here.
the argument
I'm
that
gonna
involves
massage-
dinosaurs.
I'm gonna massage your
What?
shoulders. Okay,
Don't
while you
touch
do
me.
this.
Don't touch me. Don't touch
I'm
me.
gonna massage your shoulders. Okay.
Get your hands off me, dude.
It's fine. It's
You
fine. I'm
don't have to
massaging your
touch me.
shoulders. All right, go. Keep.
You think
press
touching me
play.
is gonna
Press play.
send-
Press
okay,
play.
okay.
You and me. I'm gonna whisper in your ear. Okay. All right. If you get this wrong. All right. Let's go. Press
Okay,
play.
okay, give me a second. Give me a second.
The
Analysis.
time frame is incredibly important. That'd be like saying, look at your, let's say somebody developed cancer and they didn't realize it, and the person has lost, 40 or 50 pounds in the past 6 months, and I'm like, you look very sickly. And you're like, okay, well, look at my weight fluctuation over the past 10 years. You say, well, it doesn't really matter. What matters
I'm
is the
not
fact
saying
that
the
the past
time
6
frame
months-
isn't important.
Well, but I'm saying
that
like
it is important.
Yeah,
I'm
but
just
no.
saying I don't know how to specify it.
Well, you would probably specify with the beginning of the industrial age, right?
Why?
Because
Well,
that's when
that's why I
carbon
said-
dioxide, which is a gas that's seen as trapping more heat on the
Why
planet.
is that
against
relevant to the time over which you compute the variability?
Because it's
Why is it relevant? Why is it relevant? Because
is it relevant?
it's very rapidly affected our planet based off our actions, and we have control over it.
Yeah, there you go. I think also Peterson here is like appealing to this idea that, oh, we can't measure it perfectly, so we don't have any idea, so we do nothing at all. It justifies nothing. Which is like, Jordan Peterson commonly does this thing where he appeals to this idea of there being a reasonable amount of scientific doubt in any kind of study. And then, as a result of there being any doubt at all, he just throws the entire thing out if it's not convenient and aligns with him. But then if we're doing a retrospective analysis of morons that just eat meat all day, suddenly no amount, the study doesn't matter and he's happy to use it for his biased position. Woo.
It's true. It's true.
Look at us!
It's true.
Look at us tag team debunking this, Wiz. See, isn't this great? Isn't this wonderful?
All
Isn't
it
this
took
good?
was for me to be in control, as I should always have been.
There you go. All
You
right.
fell for my control ploy.
We
You
give
fool.
him a little button to press, and it
You
changes.
fool, now you
as
shut up
carbon
there,
dioxide
'cause the video
increased in the
playing.
atmosphere,
Right
the
in
surface
there.
temperatures have risen at a rate that is a departure from what we'd expect over 150,000 year cycles of temperature variations on the
No,
planet.
not with that time frame. That's
Absolutely.
just not the case.
It's absolutely the case.
No, what do you mean? You just flipped to 150,000 year time span.
What I'm
So-
saying is that if we expect to see a temperature do this in a 150,000 year time span, in a 100 year time span, seeing it do this, that's very worrying. Now,
I
it
mean,
could be
like
the
Michael
case.
Mann's hockey stick, the one that's under attack right now in court by a major statistician who claimed that he falsified his data. I mean, that spike?
I'm talking about the record temperatures that are declared.
Bruh, one study bad, all studies bad. That's what that says.
Good, very good.
So he's
yes,
like, I
true.
found one bad study, therefore all studies bad. But it's not
Yeah.
just one guy that proved this.
More
see this?
importantly, his jacket is in fact very, very bad. And I know this
No, I
because
think
Wiz
his
wears
jacket's
similar
fire,
clothes.
dude.
I see.
His jacket's
I know
fire,
this
dude.
because Wiz wears similar clothes.
I
All of his
the
fucking
reason
hoodies.
Destiny lost this goddamn debate is because he came dressed like
Zero
this.
riz,
If
zero
he
drip.
if he outdressed him, Jordan Peterson would be stumbling, mumbling. Oh my god,
True,
dude.
true.
That
Is it
have been
crazy?
declared
Wait,
for,
wait,
like, the
pause this. Isn't it crazy that Lonabox stole your aesthetic? Isn't that fucked up? Didn't he steal a hoodie from you?
Yeah, I had a different hoodie in a different color, and he saw me wearing it in a VC and asked me where I got it from. And then the next time he went live, he was wearing the same hoodie, and I
Wow,
was like, "Oh my
H Bomber
god!"
guy. Hey, H Bomber guy. Hey, this is your next target. All right, this Lonabox guy stealing the aesthetic. All right, of
Stealing
small
my
streamers.
fashion
No
vibes.
credit. No credit.
It's unbelievable, dude. It's unbelievable.
Past 5 years that have also increased with the concentration of parts per million of carbon dioxide of the atmosphere. I mean, I'm not going to tell you that every model is perfect.
They're
but
not
right now, sure, but right now we're like standing in traffic with our eyes closed saying the car hasn't hit me yet, so I don't think there's any coming. I think it's pretty undeniable at this point that there is an
There's plenty
impact
coming,
on
dude.
climate across the planet.
I'm-
I just
I
don't
think
know.
that's highly deniable. We have no idea what the impact is from. We don't know where the carbon dioxide is from. We can't measure
Yeah, we do.
the warming of the oceans. We have terrible temperature records going back 100 years. Almost all the terrestrial
When did the Industrial Revolution start, Jordan Peterson?
Yeah. Also, we don't. This is the thing. Again, he's appealing to this idea that there's some amount of scientific doubt, so throw everything out. If there's doubt,
Yeah.
throw it out.
detection sites were first put outside urban areas, and then as
And then
you're-
cities,
right, and then
and
you
then
have to
more.
correct. Then you have to correct for the movement of the urban areas, and then you introduce an error parameter that's larger than the purported increase in temperature that you're planning to measure. This isn't data. This is guess, and there's something weird underneath
Bruh.
it. There's something weird that isn't oriented well
Oh,
towards
here we
human
go.
beings underneath it.
Conspiracy.
There might be bad elements, but doesn't mean it's all shite.
It has this guise of compassion. Oh, we're going to save the poor in the future.
go.
It's like that's what the bloody communists said. And they killed a lot of people doing it. And we're walking
Oh,
down
the
that same road
communists
now
also bad.
with this insistence that, you know,
Got
we're
nothing
so
to do with what we're
compassionate that we
saying.
care about the poor 100 years from now. And if we have to wipe out several hundred million of them now, well, that's a small price to pay for the future utopia. And we've heard that sort of thing before. And the alternative to that is to stop having global level elites plot out a utopian
Jordan Peterson, I hear
Hey!
all sorts of things all the time.
future, or even an anti-dystopian future.
We got you
And
posting.
that's exactly what's happening now with organizations like the WEF.
Whoa.
And if this wasn't immediately impacting the poor in a devastating manner, I wouldn't care about it that much, but it is. You know, I watched over the course of the last 5 years, the estimates of the number of people who were in serious danger of food privation rise from about 100 million to about 350 million. That's a major price to pay for a little bit of, what would you say, for...
Wiz,
Yeah.
why has starvation, according to his numbers, and I'm not going to fact check them, let's say that he's correct and that starvation has tripled. Do you want to give us some reasons why that might be occurring?
We've got more people kicking about. We've got a higher disparity. A lot of food is shipped outside of countries when normally it would be used within the country.
We're talking about globally, yeah, but yeah.
There's high incentive trades to send goods out of it.
Inequality,
A lot
inequality
of it is,
bad.
a lot of it's used to feed cows, like you're always talking about.
We love feeding cows. We do love feeding cows.
Feed cows. It's less efficient to feed cows than it is to
Yeah.
feed humans.
Yep. Ah! Wait, what's going... hold on. Raid? Ah! Ah!
Whoa,
Oh shit!
whoa.
Run! They
Whoa.
can't see us! They can't see... I hate you,
Well,
Wiz.
I didn't
You
say
suck.
a vegan thing. I didn't say a vegan thing. I swear.
I hate you, Wiz. Ah, this guy, this
I
frog
didn't
is
say a vegan
shitty.
thing,
This
dude.
little froggy fuck. No one likes this frog. We hate
Why is
the
he
frog.
touching me? Why is he
Bad
touching
frog.
me? Get away
Bad
from me,
frog.
dude.
No, it's gone. Yeah, we hate each other. We weren't cooperating. We weren't cooperating.
He was
We're
forcing me
over.
to watch Jordan Peterson and Destiny and react to it.
I
dude.
was literally forcing him at gunpoint to watch Jordan Peterson.
It's
Yes.
awful. It's awful.
We're so close. But look, we're so close to the Malthusian bit. Let's just watch the Malthusian bit and then we can roll, okay? Then we can roll.
Malthusian. I don't even. No.
Oh my God. Do you know
Okay.
Malthusian?
Okay. Malthusian. Yeah, he's the bad guy.
It's crazy, dude.
For progress on the climate front that's so narrow it can't
wait.
even be measured.
I don't think
Just to pause this real quick. The reason we're covering this is because Lonerbox doesn't know any of the climate arguments, and so we're going to do it and cover for his failures. Haha.
the increase in hungry
Thanks for the
people on
raid,
the
buddy.
planet is because
Appreciate
of
it.
climate.
Love you.
Oh, also,
Why
all
not?
you
Because I don't think
Israel-Palestine
that countries in Africa
guys,
are
we've
being
got a new
pushed away.
video that is looking at that debate that those 4 guys had. You know those
Oh
guys.
yeah, we put out our Israel-Palestine video finally. Isn't that exciting? You should go
You
watch
guys
it.
love that stuff. Click on
You
it,
love-
subscribe
Yep.
to it, please.
Just go, watch the
Click on all
video.
sorts of
Very fun.
things.
Go like, very good.
You'll
Good
be like,
shit.
wow, I know this. I'm clever.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
fantastic.
for sure. Yeah. We love
Got a good
Israel,
thumbnail. There's
Palestine.
plenty
We
of
love
water
Israel.
in it. They're very
We love
hydrated.
Israel. We love Israel. Yes.
And
Palestine.
sometimes Palestine.
Both. We like both equally. All the same. Big same.
Yeah. Those guys can do no wrong in my eyes.
They are basically all identical. Yep.
Whoa,
Have you gotten to the schizo
whoa.
climate part? Oh, we're there, baby.
We're about to go in, dude.
Why are
I
only
completely
half of the
understand
YouTube chat
all the
messages
words.
coming through? Why are some of them doubling? Oh, whatever. Let's play.
away from fossil fuels. I think most
Of
developing
course they are. They can't even get loans from the World Bank to pursue fossil fuel development. And there's plenty of African leaders who are screeching at the top of their lungs about that because the elites in the West have decided that, well, it was okay for us to use fossil fuel so that we wouldn't have to starve to death and our children had some opportunities. But maybe the starving masses that are too large a load for the world anyways shouldn't have that opportunity. And that's direct policy from the
it's
UN,
actually racist.
fostered by organizations like the WEF. They're going to
They
have
want
to
black
turn to
people to starve.
renewables.
The
Yeah, well,
the
good luck with
liberals.
that, because renewables have no energy density. Besides that, they're not renewable and they're not environmentally friendly. And then one more thing, there's one more weird thing.
They're not renewable because the sun's gonna run out. Ah!
shit.
They're
Oh,
not
shit.
renewable because the turbines are gonna get soggy in the rain.
So Superman's eventually going to suck it all up to power his laser
The
eyes.
solar panels are going to get nibbled on by wild wombats and will have to be renewed, and therefore they're not renewable.
Dear
They're not
God.
infinite. No infinite
Dear
money
God.
glitch. There's no infinite money glitch. It's over. Renewable doesn't actually mean renewable, which means that they're not real and they're fake and they're bad.
No.
My fucking God.
Underneath all of this.
Okay.
Well, let's say if carbon dioxide was actually your bugbear and it was genuine. Well, then why wouldn't the Greens, for example, in Africa, the progressives,
Oh, no.
be agitating to expand the use of
Okay, this one's, I mean, yeah, obviously, like, it's very, well, the nuclear shit, isn't it?
nuclear energy? Especially because Germany has to import it anyways, especially because France has demonstrated that it's possible. We could drive down
Once again, we have the same fucking problem, which is that conservatives are very good at skewering the worst elements of liberalism and the left, and then if we don't, and this is why it's so important to get
They just don't want to give
positions-
Africa back to France.
Oh God, that's so true. Yeah, true.
They're
We can't
anti-colonial.
we can't trust the French with Africa. That is 100% true. That is so true. Oh
We know
my
what they've
God.
done there, dude.
Yeah.
They're up to their old
They,
tricks.
they fumbled it. They fumbled Africa. They fumbled the bag. The bag of diamonds. Blood diamonds.
down the cost of energy with low-cost nuclear, and there'd be no carbon production. And then the poor people would have something to eat because they'd have enough energy. And that isn't what's happening. And that's one of the things that makes me extremely skeptical of the entire narrative. It's like two things. The left will sacrifice the poor to save the planet. And the left will
Whoa.
deindustrialize even at the nuclear level, despite the fact that it devastates the poor. And that's
Germany's not importing nuclear energy. On the contrary, Germany is subsidizing France with wind power, simple because half their dogshit reactors do not even run right now. Wait, sorry, Germany is importing 0 nuclear energy, is that true? Even I've heard that previous take before. Wait, what? Can we do a fact check? Cheeto! I'm watching this video. Cheeto, can you pull up Cheeto? Can you pull up producer Cheeto? Can you pull up the energy import stats for Germany?
We need your huge brain.
Years 2017 to 2024. Thank you, appreciate it, Cheeto. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Even worse, because if you devastate the poor and you force them into a short-term orientation in any given country where starvation beckons, for example, they will.
By the way, we've got 100 people watching the fucking stream, and we need way more than 15 likes, okay? Bop this shit to the top. You don't want... Who do you want? Who do you want to win, okay? Do you want drama, commentary communities? Do you want people like Queeman? All right, people like Destiny. You probably like Destiny actually. People like Chud Logic to win out, okay, in the drama wars. Or do you want real
friends
content?
of the show, Chud Logic,
like the
show,
fucking
Freeman.
Stream. Yeah, all friends of the show, big friends of the show.
I want to see them
like
all
the fucking
succeed. Let's
stream.
go.
All right,
that's what you're saying, right?
This, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm just jerking off all of the commentary community right now. Do you want tomfoolery, the degen woman gang stalker to win? No, you want to like this stream, okay? Like the shit out of this stream, okay? All right.
Check the links below me.
You want more? You want
I'm
more
telling
puppets?
you, below me.
If you want more puppets, you gotta blow the frog. You got below the frog. Check
Whoa,
below the frog.
no, below me.
No, below the frog. Yeah, below the frog. Below the frog. Look below the frog.
Below me.
Below the frog. Ah, if you hate Chud Logic, like the stream. Haha, that's how it works.
If you like Chud Logic, like the stream. Friend of the show,
it's a democracy, but money good. Like it. Like the stream. Thank you.
Will cut down all the trees and they will kill down all the animals and they will destroy the ecosphere. And so even by the standards of the people who are pushing the carbon dioxide externality control, all the consequences of that doctrine appear to me to be devastating even by their own measurement principles. We're trying to fix the environment. Well, boys and girls, doesn't look like it's working. All you've managed to do is make...
There we go.
It's a bit non-binary.
In 2023... Hold on, we've got our reporter in the field has come back from Germany. Germany had a net import surplus of around 11.7 terawatts in terawatts in cross-border electricity trading. The main reason for the imports was low electricity prices in neighboring countries in the summer. Well, yeah, but that doesn't define whether they. Don't forget, like, just because you've got a net export doesn't mean that you're not importing any nuclear energy. It just means that you're at a net gain. A net export of energy. Also, follow the YouTube channel to skip ads on... Yeah, exactly. Holy shit. Yeah. Or subscribe on Twitch. We do love that. Yeah, if you want... By the way, if you want us to commit to the ad-free version of this shit, subscribe to the stream so that we can get to 1,000 subs.
Yeah, move over
like,
to the YouTube. YouTube's sick. It's wicked
YouTube's
sick.
awesome.
And there's videos and there's a bunch of other shit, dude.
And I can tell people to kill themselves, which is really important. I'm migrating away from Twitch.
In a video game.
I'm migrating away from Twitch just so I can tell people to kill themselves. That's great in a video game. But that'd be great. Powerful. Very powerful.
Times as expensive and more polluting. You were wrong. That didn't work. And so I can't understand. You can help.
I know! Yes, it's what's hours. Yes, I get it.
What hour?
Yeah, what? Shut the fuck up. Who cares? Terawatt. Shut the fuck. Oh my god, you. Physics. Be unable to. Complaining about salespeople. Physics be unable to read a room challenge. How about that? Yeah. Have you considered looking for social cues or understanding the context of communication? No, because the only way you know how to communicate with each other is by spitting 4,000 fucking page treatises at each other about garbage ass quantum physics theory, string theory, garbage bullshit that no one cares about and was debunked 30 years ago.
Help me. That's why you're here today talking to me.
Enter a black hole.
I can't understand how the left can support this.
Just one quick thing. Let's say that everything you've said is true. What do you think is the plan then? What is the goal? What is the drive?
Oh, here we go.
Like, why push obviously horrible ideas for the planet and the poor?
That's a good question. That's a good question.
Well, because you're positing it, right? So what do you think is the driver goal?
This is, by the way, this is one of the angles that Destiny took that was actually beneficial. Like, you do what you need to do when you're trying to convince someone like Jordan Peterson, Wiz, begin taking notes. Close your transformer. Close your transformers. Close your transformers. No more 40k shopping. Just stop. Put it away. Put it away. Okay. The way you actually convince schizophrenics like JBP to change position or begin to change position is to accept core elements of their worldview. There's a big cabal, there's a, you know, there's like a grand conspiracy, whatever, and reframe it in the more correct version of that conspiracy. You might not get all the way there, and the vibe might not change significantly, but at least the facts that they're using and consuming will be closer to the truth, and then they can start pipelining themselves towards more correct examples of, like, real evidence when it comes to things like climate change. So you need to ask Jordan Peterson what his understanding is, or what his metric for believing something would be, and then you need to you have to, like, force your real facts through the lens of his deep-seated schizotypal personality disorder. Treatises, I know. This tactic worked with my Fox News watching grandpa for getting him to embrace socialist ideals. Literally, like, people do fundamentally accept a lot of the, like, abstract ideas of socialism. It's just that the well gets super poisoned by all of the propaganda that they consumed. And if you can explain, here is the single best way that you can get better at convincing people. If you can explain all of the values and elements and economic policy of socialism without using a single word that is used on Fox News to describe any leftist position, you will convince people. They will think you're just a smart person and not a lefty snowflake. If you say a single time any of the buzzwords that get used on Fox News, you've stepped on a landmine and it's over, and they will never listen to you again. Just explain it without using any of the jargon that Fox News has toxified. That's it.
Also, don't use the R word, because that'll out you as a basement dweller.
Don't use the what word?
The R word, dude.
Oh, which word is that, Wiz?
The one you're not supposed to say, because it'll out you as a basement dweller.
Which word, Wiz?
The one where if you said it to your mum or your grandfather who's been advocating for those things, will go like, "Oh, I can't
you mean
believe you'd say something
Riz?
so crass."
You mean Riz? You mean Riz?
Yeah.
Don't use Riz.
Never admit you have Riz.
Riz is a bad. I do have Riz. Oh no! Ringle,
Fuck, dude, you've ruined it.
Yeah. It's the whole thing about calling socialism supercapitalism. That is literally the meme. Yes.
Well, I listen to what people say. Here's the most terrible thing they say. There are too many people on the planet.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, so who says that? I've heard people say that for 30 years.
Right. Who actually says that? Because it's not anyone important. Bill Gates was saying it like 20 years ago, and he was fucking wrong. And he's since mostly admitted that he was wrong. Which, by the way, is why you don't leave political policy and, like, foreign aid in the hands of a random billionaire who read a few too many of the wrong books and suddenly decided that the Africans were going to take over the fucking world and needed to have their population culled by distributing condoms. Real thing that Bill Gates did. Kind of fucked up. He genuinely, one of the big reasons he was so involved in African the HIV crisis is because he wanted to introduce contraceptives to try and stop the population in Africa from increasing. Turned out, when you reach a certain level of development, your population just naturally starts to tail off as women get more educated, is the main one. So this idea of, like, the Malthusian plan, which is basically, there's this guy Malthus, I think his name was. He was like a philosopher, whatever, some dipshit in the 1920s, probably, maybe the 1800s. Who basically said that he predicted that, like, the population of humanity was going to reach a point where it would cause a catastrophe, a global catastrophe. We wouldn't have enough resources for them. Turns out technology kept ahead of it, and if you go vegan, you can feed 100 billion people on the planet, pretty straightforwardly. With the current resources, without any expansion, we could feed 30 billion people with vegan food, instead of just giving it to fucking animals, because it wastes like 15 out of 16 calories to give a bunch of food to a cow and then eat that cow instead of eating the food directly. But it's grass! No, it's soy, you dumb fuck. Eat soy, become a soy boy, become powerful, okay? Get jacked to the fucking nines on soy.
The only cost of that plan is good food.
10 billion? We can feed 10 billion on a non-vegan diet. We can feed 10 billion on, like, like meat, but that's pretty much our limit. Surely not 100 billion? You could, in theory, the most efficient capacity for Earth, it's been calculated, obviously it's not a perfect measure, but on a vegan diet, today, you could feed 30 billion people with our current production capacity. Theoretically, if optimized, you could feed a theoretical 100 billion people on a vegan diet, or you can feed 10 billion people on a animal products-based diet, right? So we are actually starting to near a concerning area where if we hit 10 billion people, there's probably not going to... The inefficiency of animal agriculture is going to cause problems that result in a collapsing logistics and distribution chain where we're not going to be able to get food to the right people, but that's because meat is very inefficient. So even regardless of how well veganism does as a political ideology, you will probably end up finding that meat gets more expensive as it becomes harder and harder to produce, because meat has a shitload of externalities that destroy the local landscape and make it harder and harder harder to produce meat. Even meat companies know this and talk about this in their conferences. Meat companies are constantly speaking to each other going, yeah, so we've got like another 50 years in this before we've so raped the land. This is not their words they'll use, but we've so fucked everything up. This is why we're buying up all of these vegan companies, because we know that veganism is not gonna win because it's ideologically prudent, but because it's literally gonna become physically impossible to avoid, because meat is so destructive to the local environment that you just won't be able to keep producing meat at the same quantities.
Thank you for
So,
my
yeah.
green pill, honey. It tastes delicious.
There you go. Enjoy your corn syrup, sweetie. Glug 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 glug.
Perfectly ordinary, compassionate people. Well, there's too many people on the planet. And I think, well, for me, that's like hearing Satan himself take possession of their spine and move their mouth. It's like,
Damn.
okay, who are these
He'd know,
excess
dude,
people
he'd
that
know.
you're so concerned about? And
His daughter's a vampire.
Oh my god, yeah, true, he's back to the vampiric. Yeah, he can see when Satan possesses people. Vampires have a strong relationship with the devil, that is true. All their familiars.
exactly who has to go and when and why and how.
Science will solve the problem with the development of the superpower. There's a documentary about this on Netflix. It's called Okja. You should read it or watch it, I guess. It's a documentary.
That's
real
all about
thing that happened.
the killer whale, right?
No, it's about the big super pigs. They genetically create a bunch of super
Holy
pigs.
dude.
Yeah, giant
Let's go.
elephant-sized pigs. Yeah, documentary. Real
Oh,
documentary really
whoa,
happened.
let's go.
I think it's made by the guy who made Parasite, actually. What's his face? Kim Jin, Korean name. Korean guy. Yep, nailed it. Kim something.
Jong-un.
Yeah, that guy. Yep. Sustainable agricultural practices will lower the carrying capacity, so maybe we won't be able to have 300 billion. But with family planning, this isn't actually an issue. So sustainable agricultural practices will lower the... Oh, I see what you mean. Right, yeah. Right. That's fair. Well, I said 100 billion, not 300 billion. Again, that's based on like just productive capacity of like land not being used for animals and then being maximized efficiently. As long as they get Ginger back in fucking... Oh, all right. Kim Korea, that's the guy. Yeah, Korea Kim, that guy.
And who's going to make that decision? And even if you're not consciously aiming at that, you are the one who uttered the words. You're the ones who muttered the phrase. What makes you think that the thing that possessed you to make you utter that words isn't aiming at exactly what you just declared?
Yeah, but this is crazy because no one is saying, like, this is the, now, alright. So this is the other half of the conservative brain rot, which is they get so caught up in these conspiracies of, oh, Bill Gates is going to depopulate the entire fucking planet, that they think that that's actually being said instead of people just misquoting and misrepresenting the idea of, like, there being a lot of people and us having to create productive capacity for them.
And so that's a terrible vision. But when you look at
Alex America is real, and we will be having him on the stream soon. Okay, friend of the stream, Alex America, he will be joining us next session.
Whoa.
I know.
Alex,
what happens in
Wiz, I'm leaving you the video player, okay? I need to go pee.
Thank you.
in genocidal societies, and they emerge with fair regularity, and usually with a utopian vision at hand, the consequence is the mass destruction of millions of people. So why should I assume that something horrible isn't lurking like that right now?
What does his jacket actually say? It looks like it says something toy, like boot toy. What is that? It's so and there's like a pirate hat on it on his sleeve. Look at his sleeve. There's like a little pirate hat. I don't understand this jacket one bit. I'm sure it's like a fancy designer, but it looks like it's like a gecko wearing a pirate hat on his sleeve. I don't understand.
Now, especially given that we have pushed a few 100 million people back into absolute poverty when we were doing a pretty damn good job of getting rid of that. And I just don't understand what's happening in Germany or in the UK. Like, it's insane. Like, look, man, if they would have got rid of the nuclear plants and made energy 5 times as expensive, and the consequence would have been they weren't burning lignite coal as a backup, and their unit production of energy, of pollution per unit of energy had plummeted, you could say, well, look, we hurt a lot of poor people, but at least the air is cleaner. It's like,
Whoa. The air is cleaner, dude. If only we had clean air. I wish. Also, everyone joined the Discord. It's actually quite good. We're ramping up. We hang out in there after the stream as well. We sit about, we chat. We go like, hey, he, did you like the stream that we did? But join it because it's good fun. We all debate in there and stuff like that. And also we've got videos as well. Smug's very apprehensive about plugging them, but they're good. They're little segments from the previous streams. We just released the normal Finkenstein, Finkley, Vopoly, Destiny debate, and it was really good. It's got a cracking thumbnail with water bottles in it because they were all drinking water. And we thought it was quite funny because they were all drinking water, right? Apart from Finkelstein, who was drinking water and smart water. He was doubling up on water, and I don't really understand the politics behind that. I think it was a power move. But it just goes to show that what makes him such a strong debater. But yeah, Jordan Peterson, dude. He's a character. I don't quite know what he's saying here about the climate because I'll be honest, I wasn't really paying attention when Smug left me in charge. Oh dear. Huge L, huge L. But hopefully he pees real quick so I can go back to pretending that I'm paying attention.
No, air's worse, and everyone's poorer. So, like, explain to me how the hell the left could be anti-nuclear.
Okay.
I don't understand it at all.
Gotcha. All right. This is something that I brought up earlier that is concerning to me. I feel like when people get political beliefs, I feel like what happens is, what we think happens, what we hope happen is you have some moral or philosophical underpinning, and then from there, you combine this with some epistemic understanding of the world, and then you combine these two things, you engage in some form of analysis, and your moral
it'd be
view,
nice if that was true.
Yeah, you start to apply like prescriptions. So maybe I'm religious, maybe I analyze society, and I see that particular TV shows lead to premarital sex, so my societal prescription is we should ban these TV shows, right? Ideally, this is how you would imagine this process works. What I find happens, unfortunately, all too often is what people do is they join social groups, and then with those social groups, they inherit something that I call like a constellation of beliefs. And this constellation of beliefs, instead of rationally building on each of these, you basically get this like Jenga tower that is like floating over a table, and every block is like supporting itself, and no real part of the tower can be addressed. If you pull out one piece, it all falls apart. So people become like very stuck in all of this combined constellation stuff, and none of it is really given like any analysis, and you can't really push anybody from one way or another in terms of like reevaluating any of the beliefs that are part of this constellation. I wish I would have.
That's good. That's fine. That's right.
Well,
Sleep is the foundation of our mental and physical
I can't
health.
believe this, dude. Sleep is the foundation. What do you think about that, huh? Hey, I heard you sneaking up, dude. I heard your little breath. I heard your little breathing. I heard that, dude.
I got you.
You were
You didn't see
watching
me.
me
I'm
the whole
behind
time,
you.
dude.
I snuck up behind you. You saw nothing. You
I
saw
heard
nothing.
you, dude.
You've only got 180
I heard
degrees of
you're-
vision. I
you're-
was in the 90 degrees behind you. You didn't see me. You didn't see me. I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you.
I
I got you this time.
I'm a
I got you
frog. I
this
got
time.
eyes on the side of my head.
I got you this time. You didn't. Shut up. I got you. I got you this time. You didn't get me. Yeah, I got you. I freaking got you, dude. I freaking got you, dude. I
you
finally
didn't get
got
me,
you,
dude. You
dude.
didn't get me,
You
dude.
said don't touch me. I touched you without your consent. What are you gonna do now? Me too, me? I'm a fucking snail.
Did you tickle me when you were down there, dude?
I tickled you a little bit, yeah.
You're fucking
I
over
gave
for
you a little
dude.
tickle. I gave you a little tickle.
It's fucking over for you, dude.
I got him. I got him. I got him so hard, chat. I got him so good. He had no idea. He had no idea I was right behind him. He had no idea.
I knew. I could see,
had no
dude. I thought you were
idea.
just
Oh
coming
my
for a
God.
cuddle.
That wasn't a cuddle. That was an assault. That was a full-on assault.
Whoa.
Which is crazy because as a snail, I hate assault. Okay. What did Wiz? Okay, chat. All right, I've come home. Okay, I've come home from a long day at work, pissing. Okay, and now I need to know. Chat. I need to. We're holding Wiz accountable today. Okay. What did Wiz teach you? Speak
No
up.
fucking snitching.
Everyone,
no fucking
everyone,
snitching.
what did Wiz
No
teach
fucking
you? I
snitching.
need one thing that Wiz taught you while I was away to make sure that
No
I can
fucking
ever leave him with
snitching,
you
no
alone
snitching.
again. Alright, no, I need to know. What has Wiz taught
No
you?
stitches. Snitches
Anything.
get stitches.
What
If I
did Wiz
see
do
any
while I
of
was
you
away? I
dots,
have the
dude,
recording. I
it's
can go
over.
back. I can go back and check. I can go back and check. That you should join the Discord. Have you just been shilling the entire time I was gone?
Dude, that doesn't sound like me. And whoever
What
said
did-
that sounds like a snitch, though.
What did Wiz teach you nothing? I'm seeing 0. Taught us about Baldur's Gate characters? That sounds
What
real.
the fuck?
Wait, no, that doesn't make sense. Wiz hasn't
Bro,
played
I'm
Baldur's
too
Gate.
broke. I'm too
his
broke to
computer's
get
too bad and
Baldur's
his
Gate.
game he can't afford Baldur's Gate. No. There's been more capitalist meltdowns or accidents. He doesn't
This is where we
listen to
test the
JP.
audience, dude. This is where we
Dude,
test the audience. see how
the audience
reliable
is
and loyal
as
they are.
incapable of keeping a coherent string of thoughts together as you are. This is disaster. This is why I put the audience on your side today, because I knew that they were going to be as
Hey,
useless
Violent
as you.
Smoker in YouTube
It's
chat
me-
says nuclear bad, okay?
It's
That's
me,
something
it's,
to learn.
No, it's
That's
me versus
something.
the world. You
definitely
guys are
said
all
that.
over there. You guys are all over there on that side of the stream. The big brains are over here on my side, okay? You little fucks, you little buggy fucks, you bug chat freaks. Okay, you're all sitting over there. Useless, garbage. Useless, absolute garbage.
Yeah, these guys got my back, dude. You better watch out.
Okay. Are we done watching?
Thank please God.
Wait, hold on, but there's a piece that says realities of the green energy pipe dream.
Oh no, it's the advert signals the segment's over, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. Hold on, let's see. Are you gonna break the fucking? I knew that giving you any amount of control was a terrible idea. The second I promoted you, I knew that you were
Could
gonna
you
go
imagine you
fucking
came
mad
back and
with
it was
power.
just all the way at the end of the video?
Yeah, I would have believed I was pissing that long. Honestly, I'm a long pisser. All right, I take my time. I enjoy the aesthetics I've cultivated in the bathroom. All little plants, good oxygenation. It's lovely in there. It's lovely. It's like a little shrine. A little
Do you eat the
shrine.
walls?
A little shrine. I piss all up the walls. Yeah.
You water the plants, if you know what I'm saying.
I'm gonna waterboard you. Right. Let's move on to the next video.
There's-
Okay, we did.
I know, just imagining there's actually no toilet in the bathroom, and it's just several plant beds that you pee on.
Yeah. It's like a dog. It's like
a
those little
eco-
things, the little grass
bathroom.
you buy for a dog. Yeah. Me when
shit
streamer
in the
is insanely
pots.
ableist versus me when streamer Smug is insanely ableist. Yep, true. Yeah, but when I do it from a socialist. I use slurs from a socialist perspective, and Chud Logic does it from a conservative perspective because he's completely audience captured, and I'm not. I don't give a shit about my audience. You can all leave. I'll
Yeah,
wait.
well, they're my audience, dude.
No!